This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, so here we'll check about PAM, how to enforce and how to enable it. So for following up the PAM, I have shared the link. You can go through that and you can try to follow it up. So let me check whether the files are available or not, whatever that website shows. EGC security, let me see whether it's there or not. EW quality, it's there. Okay, we can say it's all commented. I mean, it's not enabled yet. Anything, L credit, U credit, L credit, password, no root auth. So we'll do it. The bit is mentioned in the blog. So we'll copy both the files. I've opened the respective file, and there, whatever they are saying, I will try to modify that line. I think they're trying to say modify this line. Yeah. Okay, one more thing I wanted to say that let's read some basic about the spam. Okay, first let me modify, then we'll go back about reading the basics, like what is this and what is prerequisite, what are all this it's mentioned. So what this section is about, like what is the first column, what is the second column, what is the third column is about. We'll see that. So we'll try 3 type equals to minimum length equals to 8 spam space L credit equals to -1 U credit equals to -1 space D credit equals to -1, and then O, is it O? Yeah, O credit equals, it should be without space. O credit equals to -1 space and force underscore for underscore root. And let me close this file. I have written and closed the file, and let me try to change the password again. Password test. I'm giving simple password is test. I have given the password also test. Bad password. The password contains less than 1 digit. Okay. Test 1. It requires one uppercase letter. So I'm going to give T, capital EST, and 1 digit also. That requires one alphanumeric character also. It throws me out. So we can see that how we have enforced the policy. And we have seen also that how we got to know how to read about anything if you don't know, because there are several new things, there are several new modules, there are several new challenges which you are going to face as an Linux admin. And you should not say that because in professional world you cannot say that I have not been taught. If you don't know, read it and make the work done. That is what is expected out of any person. And for reading, where you'll go, you'll try to find out a book, you'll try to find out on Google, or you need to have some resource. So first you need to read, understand, and then come back and do the work. This is a basic formula for everything, whatever you wanted to learn. So next is we'll look at PAM itself a bit more closer. Yeah, I will paste a link which tells you more about the password or PAM. But one thing I will say that this tutorial is going to tell more about. Okay, let me go there itself and explore the how we have gone through. Yeah, so you're able to see that this is the link which I have got while just simply typing in Google about basics about the PAM in Linux. So in CentOS and Ubuntu here it says PAM we can use, and for that check our program is PAM aware or not. For that we will use LDD command. LDD, it says the dependency of the libraries, like a particular file or module which has what are all dependencies for that particular module, what all other dependencies are there. So it means, okay, let me explain a little bit in that. They are saying LDD slash user spin SSHD. I mean to say that SSHD is dependent on what are all libraries. These SO files are actually libraries. libpam.so is a library. One more thing, I can give an assignment. I think everybody can note it down. What is called library, and what is called static library and dynamic libraries? Because it's a bit good question. Anybody can get confused, and it is required. So please try to search and try to identify the answer. And if you're able to do, it's very good. If you are having any doubt, please come back to me. I'll explain. But before getting explanation, please read. Please go through it. Try to understand what it says. Okay. So let me try this. LDD space user spin SSHD. It has got all this dependency you can see. Let me more. That means like to run the SSH daemon, it requires all these libraries. So in that, we are trying to search that lippam is there or not. Sorry, more is not required. I need to grep. So this is the grep. Okay, I want to reply one more question that somebody has asked me that, sir, I'm new to Linux. I don't know which command to use and where to use. So how to get to know about that? So for that, you need to understand what is your requirement. Like in Windows, everybody knows that if I want to change time, I will go and in settings in date and time, I'll go and I'll change it. Similarly, for changing the Wi-Fi network, I'll go in Wi-Fi and I will switch back to another network. For changing the network policies or network IP addresses, I'll go to the network and properties and I will do the change. So for that, you need to know what is your achievement, what you wanted to achieve. First of all, what you wanted to do the job with that particular Linux, why you came there. First of all, you need to identify that, and after identifying, you need to cut down or you need to serialize how to achieve that, and then probably you need to proceed further. So like here itself, I can say that I wanted to know that which are all files are dependent on SSHD. So for that, there is a command LDD. When I've done, it shows me all these things. Now it can be 100, it can be 200. So I don't want to go with each and every line. My next motive is I wanted to check that whether lippam.so file is dependent or not, because I wanted to configure lippam.so file for SSH. So to achieve that, I wanted to extract the lippam.so file out of the output, whatever I'm getting from here. From the left side command LDD/user/admin/sshd, whatever output I'm getting, I wanted to extract the lippam so whether that's there or not. So for that, I will give pipe, then grep lippam.so, and I'll press enter. And there we go. We have got the lippam.so and the location it's there. So it means that it is available and it's dependent on that. So we'll proceed next. Yeah, what it says is first line in this conf file or in this directory, what all files are present /etc/pam.d. It has first is service, the second is type, third is control flag, module and module arguments. Service is like actual application name, what application we are trying to use, and the next is type. What is the type of that particular module? Control flag, how we wanted to control. Module is like which module we wanted to use and what arguments we wanted to give that. That's the content of conf file. Okay, so let's go through with an example. This is an example for rule definition without module arguments found in the SSHD file, which disallows non-root logins when etc no login exists. So, okay, for coming here, our motive was how to disable a root user through PAM. Yeah, how to restrict root user access via SSH by using PAM. That is what the purpose of. So we can see that authentication, it's token, sorry, not token. What was the first says? Type. This is authentication type, and then control flag, which is required, and this is the supporting modules, what role, which module we are going to use, and then these are all the arguments for that module. And this is the escape character which we use to go to the next line, the backward slash. Or the forward slash. What do we call this? This is backward or forward?
Forward.
Okay. This used to be the backward slash, and this is forward slash. So don't get confused. Sometimes, yeah, you said it correct. It's forward slash only. So this is how it has been enforced for explicitly restricting the root user to get login through SSH. So these are all things is there. You can go through and you can try to implement this with your PAM and for that particular SSH. And if you have any doubt, you can come back to me. But make sure you use you use backup. You create a backup before modifying any config file. Okay. Here, why I'm leaving everybody to just giving some information and leaving you to do remaining information is like, if I tell everything, you'll see that it's already in the videos, and whenever you open the video, you'll get to know what all things I have tried. But actually, that's not going to help you. What is going to help you when you are going to give a try and do hands-on on your Linux system, and probably after that you will encounter the issue. And if you encounter the issue, then you will come back to me, or you'll once more Google it, you'll try to resolve that issue, you'll try to find out the solution, and then you will learn more. That is what the main purpose of this. And I'm just following anything random. You can also follow whichever you like, whichever solves your purpose. I'm talking about the blog. You can follow any blog, whichever suits you. Let's learn about what is called KVM. Anybody has any idea what is called KVM? I didn't get you. Come again.
1 second. May I know the question, sir?
Oh, what is called KVM? Why? What is KVM actually? Simple question. Anybody knows that? Okay, before going to that, let me start something with SLNX. I'm looking over whatever topics are still left for you people. I can see Zen is left. SLNX is still there to cover. And LDAP, logging through LDAP is still yet to cover. Yeah, okay, we'll go that one by one. So so we'll see that what is called SLNX. I don't have any presentation for that. And here again, I will follow some blocks. I'll paste the link to that blog. What is in there? You can also go through that if you need. This is the SLNX tutorial, and this is the tutorial for SLNX with Apache. Apache is just an example, like how we can manage Apache using SLNX, or probably how we can manage our HTTP server settings using Apache. And okay, before going ahead, I wanted to ask one question: that how many people are able to go through the HTTP video, like Apache video? Like, are you able to write down any HTML file or host something in that, something like that? Are you able to do? How many people say yes? How many people say no?
Yes, sir, it was possible.
Okay. I mean, you were able to do, correct? I know it's possible.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Great. If somebody don't want to say, then probably they can write it down as well. It's not a problem. Okay. Good, Nitesh. Good, Komal. OpenSea. Okay. Good. Sunil Kumar, you are not able to do. Okay. So any specific reason like why you're not able to do? Okay, you have to try. Yeah, okay. Seems to be a valid reason. Fine, no problem. Just only 4 to 5 people are only here in the meeting. I see 44 numbers. 44 people are attending this class, including me. I expect at least 40, 43. Okay, I can say crazy. I pasted the link for attendance. Feel free to submit that. Okay. I got only 18 replies so far. Okay, one suggestion, I was keep on updating everybody some time back, and now also I will repeat that. Please start using Linux in your day-to-day life, and if you are a bit uncomfortable by using as a server, please install the desktop version and start using it. When you will start using desktop version, definitely you will explore issues while using, and then try to resolve that. Okay, let's go to SLinux then. SLinux stands for Security Enhanced Linux, and it provides a set of Linux kernel. As a Linux kernel patches, it gives lots of securities with the help of security modules, which is implemented in the kernel itself. And we can enable and disable through the SLinux security policies. So for setting up the SLinux policy, we can use setenforce, or that's a command to use for. And what is the status we want to set it? If we want to disable it, we need to use disable. And permissive is another argument. Enforcing is the third argument. So permissive is like it will allow us to do the work, but with warnings. Enforcing is like we wanted to enforce our policies. So if something is not within the policy, it will disallow us. We can't do that. So for getting to know what is the policy, we need to run a command. What is the current policy has been implemented in our Linux system. There is a command. I'm following the blog itself. If anybody feels that lost, can follow the blog, or have any doubt, can ask the questions. SLinux status, it's not there. Sorry. That is also not there. Sorry, SE status, not T. There's a typo. SELinux status is enabled, and it is mounted with this file system sysfs SELinux. On first day, you remember that everything in Linux, it's a kind of file system. So for the file system, what are all things we wanted to do, everything has to be get mounted as a file system, and then we can proceed further accordingly. So here we can see that the second argument here, it says about, once again, yeah, here the second argument, it says about where the SELinux has been mounted, and the root directory is act/SELinux, and the policy name is targeted. Current mode is enforcing, and then policy deny unknown status, it's allowed. I mean, maximum kernel policy version, I think it's a version, and maximum policy deny unknown status, it means like whenever any unknown status is coming, for that policy is denied, and which is allowed and enabled here. So let me give a disable, and then see what is the status for that. Set enforce disable. Okay, I can do only enforce permissive. Let me check the status first. It's still enabled. So we have some options like it gives us option only enforce or permissive. So we are not allowed to enable, we are not allowed to disable it, it seems here. So what we can do is either the good option to go ahead with this is to give permissive rather than enforcer, because permissive gives us a warning as well, but it allows the policy if you are trying not to do something.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, we can disable it, sir, by the configuration file, sir.
We'll reach there. We'll reach there. We'll proceed there. Wait. Yeah. Let us go through with this command line first. So here we can see that I have changed the current mode from enforcing to permissive, and we are able to do that. So once again, we'll change it to enforcing, and let's see the way somebody was saying we can do that. Let's reach there. So actually all these things, it's picking up from this file which it shows here, shown here, etc/sys SELinux. So we'll open that file. So here we can read this. What is SELinux can take one of these three values. First is enforcing, SELinux policy is enforced, and second is permissive, SELinux prints warning instead of enforcing it, and it will print warning instead of enforcing it, for which we don't want to give the permission. Disable is, it's going to disable it. So let's give an try to disable it. I need to see systemctl. Is there any services running or not? Systemctl. I think we might need to reboot the system itself because it's on a kernel. So let's reboot and see whether we have SLNX enabled or disabled. Oh, change the password. Okay. It's enabled again. Okay, let me check what all we have changed, where the changes, whether that is still there or not. It is there. Okay. Okay, I think there is a typo. You can see that now it's disabled.
Yes, sir.
So some time back, somebody asked that, sir, how to disable the SLNX or how to enable it. So that replies, we can get it here. Okay. So let me give another example here about Apache and about configuring the files. Okay, something let me tell about SLNX itself and small. So we know that it's better to give the permissive options. So let me give permissive option and then let it be. Don't disable it. Previously it was enforcing. Let me leave that. So okay, before going to SLNX, let me move. I hope everybody knows how to edit the file using VI and Nano. Anybody is having any problem or any issues with that, please let me know that how that is done. Okay, so basically it's better to enforce the SE Linux policy and don't disable it. Sometimes what happens is like there are so many things which internally we may not know which file somebody or some user should not have access to, and only that particular user or that service XYZ service need to have you access to only this particular file, but we may not know, but SE Linux know. It's better to enable it. So any of the production machine or any environment, if you're working, you should use the enforcing mode. Sometimes you may see that you are facing some issues or some errors because of SE Linux policies. So let's take an example that suppose you have a web server, and that web server, what we have seen last time is we were getting the content from a folder called /var/ww and then /xyz.html, if I'm not wrong. So let me show you here where www. This is the file which we were getting, and we have modified it, and this is what we were getting when we are loaded into that browser. So in some time what happens is we don't want to let that Apache server to run in this file or in this directory alone. We wanted to change that. So for that, suppose let's take an example that there is an folder class called /opt/www. I'm creating. Currently, we don't have any. Okay, let me create. So I have created a folder here in OPT that's called www, and I want all the things is to go there, and I want to give the permission of that particular folder to in SE Linux so that HTTP service, whenever it comes, it can access. So for that, I need to modify some of the things. So for that, command is se manage. Why it's not working? Let me see what other commands are there. Se status is there, service is there, set enforce, set files. So SE manage is not there. Okay. So let me check what all packages are available for the SE Linux. These are all for policies. So Linux policies. Okay. Check policy libse manage. Let me install this. Libse manage. This might help us. Let's see. Sudo not required. Okay, that's already installed. So let me install policy core utils. We got the command se manage. Let me remove. Se manage, it's not there. Okay. Se manage, it's not there. So what generally somebody has to do if you don't find out any package there? So you can see actually anything if you wanted to execute, that is a binary, and that binary goes for that particular binary. The folder is the default folder is /sbin/ that particular binary. So I can give a command yum provides that particular binary has been SEMNG. Let's see what it says. It doesn't say anything. Okay. Let me check in. Generally, this should be the thing. Okay. So in /user /sbin/se manage, we are able to see, and that for that particular this particular binary, we have this package policy core utils -python, and with this package it comes. So we can see like this as well, that particular binary comes with which package. And let's go ahead and install that. Yum install policy core utils -python. It's installed. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to manage the file context definition f context. So I'm giving help and I'm trying to see what all things are there. So what I'm looking for is I wanted to add that particular other directory as well through SELinux to access via Apache, because Apache will not have the permission to access any other folder. So I will use this options -i, add a record in that particular object, and then delete all user. We'll see that user later. And what is the type of object? We'll try to do that. We'll try to modify that. So let me write down policy itself of context -a space -space underscore sys underscore. I think before that we should look for the policy. First of all, where it's listing that where it's listing about SELinux policy. So we'll set the policy later. Let me see what all information it shows about. We'll get the Boolean value of it. These are all the Boolean values for that SELinux. So actually, what are all its Boolean values? What are all Boolean values we have seen? It's like switching on and off certain functions of the particular HTTPD function. So those Boolean values, I hope everybody knows Boolean means like just 1 or 0. It means like it's turned on or it's turned off. And SELinux provide lots of sets of function which we can turn on and off using SELinux by enabling or disabling that particular Boolean values. So it's available for many services, and we can use to list all the Boolean variables by using get sebool space -a command, and it gives lots of list. And I need to see how to get help that particular what Boolean value is for. It just gives the Boolean values. Okay, I think I will need to check that what how to explain about all the parameters or all the Boolean values, what all actually those functions are. Let me search for this. What context, in the context what we were trying to set, which httpd underscore sys underscore content underscore t. It's not here. Okay, that should not be there. I think because it's an Apache variable. Okay, so now we'll try to set using that particular context. So for that, command is manage f context, file context, and then -a space -t. We will give now we need to give the location for that. Slash opt slash sorry opt slash and then in that I need to have access of everything. Dot star all the files. Let me see that here. It should be visible here. Okay, after that it should be visible. I'll look into it that why it's not visible. That somebody we should be able to see what file context we have set and how to see that. And after that we should use the restore recon command to relabel and set the appropriate context on the directory. So for that we can use, let me see the help also for this. There's no help, only usage. Okay, man also should not be there, manual also should not be there. That's what I believe for this. Oh, it's there. So the default SELinux policy to restore, for that it is getting used. And now what is asking to give the default permissions to that particular directory, which we have set now. We have enabled it, but we wanted to give the default permissions. This one reset to this context. Okay. So we have changed the file permission. Now let me check. Actually, next, when we have installed, it gives one more command called fix file, which we can use to reset the application file context actually. So it gives three options: check, restore, relabel. Check means like any file related objects with a mismatched security context should be here. So there are lots of things. Okay, it's just a warnings, but for what all we have done, and you can see that lastly we have, no, it's not here. Let me grep for what we have done, whether that's listing here or not. If it should not be a problem, it should not list. Let me give more to check what all things are here. So it tells about more about label only. Label. Okay, it's only about label maximum. There is no extra any warnings. So if we want to, if we see any, if we wanted to fix any file which has any relabel thing, then probably we can do that by using fix file and then that particular file name. No, by using the restore command. So let me check. Okay, so we have made the changes to okay. Some people says it's getting confused. Let me add some diagram. So it's visible to everybody, correct? So there is a folder called /var/www, which is accessible whenever we try to load that website. I mean to say, through Apache Web Service, whenever we try to open a particular IP, it gives us content of a folder, and the content of folder in an HTML format, what is available, we set to /var/www. That we can see it here. And that is what we have seen some time back. Via www/html. This is the document root. It means like whenever somebody wanted to give an IP of that system, he will be able to access that particular website. That's what we have seen some time back, that hello world it's showing when we have written in this folder. Now what we wanted to do is what is our motive here is, suppose in near future somebody asked you, hey, I don't want to keep my website in /var/www/html. I want to keep my website in /opt/www. Here I wanted to keep my website. Now what you are supposed to do now in that case, you can keep all the things here /var/opt/www. But after that, you need to change the root directory of it. Root directory of it means in document root, you should change it. In document root, you should change it to /opt/www. Wherever it is, wherever it was written /var/www, you are supposed to change to /opt/www. After changing it, you need to restart this Apache service. Now you have redirected your in a browser. Suppose if I'm giving 192.168.vmip, okay, or virtual machine IP, and what by default is expected, I should get via www, the folder, the content of this folder in HTML format, because we have HTML index.html file and which comes up. So this is what is expected. Now requirements is I need to host my website in opt/www, and I need to show the content of this. So for that, I need to add this root directory, so that instead of fetching from here, I should fetch from here /opt/www. That I have told. So whenever I try to access after doing from here to here, sorry, from here to here, whenever I have done that work, after that I need to restart the service HTTPD, and after restarting the HTTPD service, whatever I have made the changes in this file, in config file, config apache. Yeah, in this file, whatever changes I have made, /etc/httpd/conf/http.conf, it will get reflected. And what this conf file is telling is, whenever I wanted to access this web browser, please give me the root folder as a /opt/www, not /var/www. So now what it has done, it has given me this folder. After giving me, we will not be able to see the website. The reason is it has been blocked through SELinux policy. SELinux has given the permission to access the Apache service only this folder /var/www. Now what we wanted to give is, we wanted to access, we wanted to say that, hey, whenever through HTTPD we wanted to access, please provide this folder as well. And that is the reason we have changed the context of this file as well and added all the things in SELinux. And that is what that command for actually. Let me show you that command. Yeah, this one. Say cmanage ft context -a-t http context _t opt/www/.*?. And when we have given the permission through SELinux, after that we should be able to access whatever HTML file we are going to keep there. Now, does it make sense? A little bit more than what we have seen previously, some time back, maybe 10 minutes back. You'll get more clear idea when you will give a try. Yep. I'll try to search some more good options to explain the SLNX and to give some bit more demo on this, maybe by tomorrow. Okay. Because it's an important topic to cover and which puts lots of values in your domain actually. Okay, I was telling about KVM after this SLNX. I think we are done with SLNX as of now, and probably maybe tomorrow or some more, maybe tomorrow or some other day, I might explain what is, any practical example of SLNX. We have seen this folder, but we may try to explore more either this or maybe any other thing. With a practical example that what and how the effect is coming, how we can see the effect of SLNX. So now coming to the next topic, that is KVM. KVM, it's a kernel-based virtual machine, and which is part of Linux, and everything Linux has, its KVM has too. Whatever the Linux we are having, the same thing KVM is also having. But we have some specific features into that. Somebody asked me about the syllabus material. It means you don't have that one. Narsimha, you don't have syllabus? Okay, so please write a mail to me. I will send you the copy of it. And for that mail ID is, let me write it down. Yeah. So on first day, I might have explained what is called virtual machine. In that, I have explained that whenever we install the virtual machine, it's going to emulate everything and give you, it's a kind of give you a literally motherboard itself. And in that, there will be some set of features which we can enable, which we can disable. We will not have all the features what our desktop is having or your laptop is having, but yes, some set of features it will enable us through virtualization. So KVM is doing the same thing through kernel. It has storage, it has hardware support, it has memory, it has performance, how it has scheduling control, all the things it will have. And to manage that from user space, that's a driver. KVM, it's a kernel module, I can say. And to manage that, there are several application comes from user space to manage that. So one application is QEMU, and another application we can see that is Versh. Okay, now come back to our virtual machine. How we can differentiate, how we can understand that what Oracle is, what Oracle VM, whatever we are using is having, and what I'm talking about the KVM. Oracle is having its own driver module, which is sitting in base of the Linux, or maybe base of your Windows operating system, wherever you are installing, and it is giving you a UI of Oracle itself to access and to modify and to do all the things. Okay, let me use Paint to give a little bit more about it. Hmm. So, where it's coming now? This line. Okay, so here we are having KVM, and to access this KVM, we'll have a user application. It can be anything. And in terms of what we are using here with our VirtualBox is VirtualBox binary is sitting here, which is virtualizing all the things to us in Windows or in Linux, wherever you can say. And VirtualBox user space application is sitting here. Through that we are able to access all the hardwares. Suppose this is the hardware. This is your motherboard. And this motherboard you wanted to access through KVM. You should use any user application like Versh or Word Manager, or maybe QEMU, or several other user application comes for that. And here for VirtualBox, if you wanted to use, you should be using the VirtualBox binary, and all these two things comes together. When you install the VirtualBox software, all these two things will get installed on its own. That's what the difference is here. I hope this makes sense a little bit more. So I can give you a command, or probably let me see if I'm able to find it out. That basic, if we can build up a virtual machine, and if we are trying to, if we can get an access to that, not through Oracle but through KVM. Mm, we will be able to do, but I need to check that how we can, because we need to access it graphically, correct? For accessing this, suppose if I'm installing any virtual machine in our CentOS server, we might need to do the access using GUI. So for that, I need to find it out how we can do that. Okay, that will also be pending for tomorrow, I'll say. So there are two things which is pending for tomorrow. One is SLNX example. And then QEMU with KVM using GUI. I think, yep, that's it for today. Let me stop the recording.